Hi everyone, it's Bethany, and in this tutorial we are going to be looking at the Cricut Joy and how to make cards with the card mat. So I'm pretty excited to show you guys this. I tried it out last night for the first time just to kind of see what the process was, and it's actually really easy. So I'm actually not really into making cards. Even when I was doing a lot of paper crafting when I first started crafting, I was more into scrapbooking, but this was really fun, and I have to admit that my curiosity got the best of me with all of the card making and the mat and the accessories, so I decided to order a couple of the products and just give it a try, and I thought I would bring it to the channel just to show you in case you're interested as well. And I'm glad I did give it a try, because even though I'm not really into card making as much, I think it'll be really nice to have these little things in my craft toolbox just for those times when you need a card real quick, because this is actually super fast and easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make two different cards today, and one card will have an Easter little theme on it, so I thought that would be fun with Easter coming up, and then the other one will just kind of be a generic card that you can kind of use for any occasion. So we'll use one with the pen, so you can see how the Cricut Joy writes with a pen, and then the other one will do a simple cut. So they are going to both be really pretty. So the one I made last night is a really sweet little birthday card. This one says, "I love you more than ice cream," and I thought it would be really sweet for my daughter's birthday because she loves ice cream. So I thought this would be a really fun little card, and instead of using the inserts that come with the Cricut Joy card set, I decided to cut my own piece of scrapbook paper. I had like a little watercolor rainbow one, and I thought that would be really cute and girly and just really fun for a birthday. So that was the one I made last night. So I'll walk you through how to make two additional cards today. So the tools that you're going to need, of course, are the Cricut Joy. You're also going to need this card mat, and I'll show you how to use it. It's really neat. So this is going to be different from the regular mat that you can buy for the Joy. This is actual card mat for card making. Other things you'll need is you will need a Cricut Joy insert card kit. You can create your own if you'd like. They do give you the dimensions that you need for creating a card, so you can always cut your own on cardstock and cut your own inserts. We're going to be doing our own inserts today, but I'll show you what's inside of this, because this little pack just gets you all set up. You don't need anything additional if you just want to use this. So inside, it's really nice. They come with the envelopes, so that's really great. They're all pre-sized for the project. They also come with some cards, so there's 3 different colors in this set. Now they do sell a variety of different color combinations, so this one, let me see if I know the color combination of this one. This one I think is called the Sensei Sampler. So this has, and it'll give you like a little rainbow of colors that it has inside. So again, that has the envelopes, then it has the actual cards. So these are all pre-sized and pre-folded, so they're really nice. So it has a nice navy, a nice blush, and then a nice powder blue. So those are really pretty. And then the inserts, it has the pre-cut inserts for you as well in 3 different colors. So it has more of like a beige or taupe brown, and then it has a hot pink and a mustard yellow. So those are pretty fun too. So what we're going to do is we are going to insert some cards. We're going to actually use we'll use this nice blush for the Easter one, and then we'll use this nice powder blue for our other little generic card. And then we can grab a couple envelopes, and I'm not going to use the inserts for this because I think I'm going to create my own with some scrapbook paper and get some patterns in there. I think it's really fun to pair some base colors with patterns, because I think it looks really fun. So I'll show you how you guys can cut your own inserts in case you want to do that. Okay, so additionally, you're going to need a weeding tool and the Cricut Joy pen. So the Cricut Joy pen actually comes with the Cricut Joy machine, so that's really awesome. So you can start out with that. They do sell additional colors, so you can also buy other colors if you want to experiment with other colors on your cards. And then some other materials that are not mandatory but I found really helpful were, of course, you're going to need a paper trimmer or some scissors just for cutting those inserts. So if you don't want to do your own inserts, then you can ignore the paper trimmer, but that comes in handy if you want to create your own. This little spatula tool came in handy, and I'll show you when and how I used that. And then a little tiny scraper tool also came in handy. So let's go ahead and hop into Cricut Design Space, and I will show you the couple designs that we are going to do today, and then we will get to cutting these little cards on the Cricut Joy, and you guys will see just how easy it is. So let's get started. Okay, so this is Cricut Design Space, and this is the home part of Cricut Design Space. So this is what pops up when you first open up your software. So I'm just going to scroll down to Creative Cards, and I'm going to click View All. And it gives you a whole variety of cards. There's a lot of different occasions and a lot of different designs. And the best thing is they are all pre-done. So this is why it makes this so easy for you, is because it's already cut and designed for you. So all you have to do is just insert your card into your machine, and it's super, super fast. So there's some Christmas ones, there's congratulatory cards, there's so many beautiful ones, and I have lots of little favorites that I eventually want to try out. The one I'm going to try today, I'm going to do this little Hoppy Easter. I think it's so cute. Another thing you can do is you can come up to this little drop down here, and you can go and click cards, and it will give you some additional options as well. So there are just so many pretty ones. The hardest part of this project is definitely just picking out the design you want to do. This little For My Mom one is so sweet. I love that. So they're all just really pretty, and I love the conversation heart one. I think this would be a really fun one right now with all of us being safe at home and separate from one another, because it'd just be nice to send a little snail mail in the mail to friends, just to let them know you're thinking about them, and you know, that you're still there from afar. And then there was another one that I really wanted to try. I might have put it, oh, it's right here. This little hanging wreath card. I think this will be fun too, because this one's going to use the Cricut pen. So I'm going to do that one as well. It's kind of more of a generic card. You can kind of use it for any occasion. So let's start off with this little Hoppy Easter card. I'll favorite that as well. So all you have to do is simply click, and then the little project will pop up, and then all you do is just click Make It. So what you'll do is it'll take you now from the home screen to the Make It screen. So it bypasses the whole canvas because everything is already pre-made and ready, so there's really no editing that you need to do. So now we'll just click Continue because it's verifying that it's an on-card mat project, so we're going to use that card mat. So we're going to click Continue, and it's just going to walk us through how to make the card. It's so, so easy. So the first thing it'll do is it will just locate the Joy, and what we'll do is we will browse all material, not browse all materials, let's just going to look in Popular, and we are going to click this cardstock insert cardstock. So we will click that one, and that will be our material that we are going to be cutting today. We'll use default pressure, and then I will show you how we will put the card on the mat, because it's a little bit different than traditional cutting mat. So we'll do that, and then we'll get to cutting. Okay, so now we're going to load the little card on the mat. So the first thing you're going to do is there's a little protective sheet on the top, just like a regular traditional mat has. So this is a sticky surface, so they put this nice little protective sheet on. You want to keep this so that you can replace it onto your mat once you're done with your project. That just kind of prevents it from all of the other environmental things that can come and stick on your mat. So it keeps it nice and clean when you're not using it. So what it is it has that sticky surface on it, and then it has a little pouch here, if you will, and so it lifts, and the top is sticky, and then the back is just a little actual physical mat. So what you're going to do is you are going to take your card, you are going to open it up, and you are going to slip that back section, so the section that you open up to write on, you're going to slip that in and under the mat. And then what you'll do is you'll simply fold it over so that the front part is laying down on the sticky part. So this is really fun because now you can cut a full card that's already assembled into the Joy, because you are only going to be cutting on the top surface. So that little pouch allows it to give a little protective barrier between the front and the back of the card. So now we'll just open up the Joy, and then we will place the card inside. So you're just gonna, it auto feeds, so you'll just simply push it towards the wheels and it will automatically feed into it. So now it's just making sure that my mat is completely aligned, and once it's aligned on your device, the Joy is buttonless, so you'll remember everything is on your device. You're just going to click go. So whether you're working on a phone or a iPad or a desktop, everything will be bossed around, if you will, on your device. So now it's just going to cut it. So again, we're doing the Happy Easter card first, and it's going to be really, really sweet. So it's just going to cut out. Looks like it's got the little chick cutting. And it's going really quickly, so that's really fun. Okay, so it just finished cutting. It looks like it's going to be really, really neat. So I'm just going to click the unload button on my computer, and it just pops out the mat. And then what I'm going to do is I find it helpful to have this little spatula tool. And the first thing that is super helpful is you're just going to kind of bend the mat and just kind of get a corner started. So bend here and get this little thing to come up. So you don't want to rip it too much because you don't want your card to curl. So I just kind of get a corner started, and then I come through with my little spatula tool and then just kind of start lifting that card up from the mat. So it's actually a really kind of fun little process. It's almost as if you are going to be peeling up cookies from a baking sheet, if you will. So it kind of feels like that. So you're just kind of sliding that little tool right under the pieces and just kind of helping lift. So this is just kind of the safest way to do so. Now this mat is brand new, so it's still super, super sticky. So of course, just like any of your traditional mats it will lose some of its stick the more you use it. So the first couple cards are going to be even more important to be really careful with, because your paper will probably want to really stick there. So I'm just going to go through and get all the little pieces up. Okay, so just finishing up there. So now I can just open my card and I can slide it right off, and it leaves the all the little middle pieces on the card. So there are a couple that still stayed on there. So what I'll do is I'll just take my little weeding tool, and you can just kind of pop them out and grab them. So there were just a couple little sections where the little middles stayed little clinging to the card, which is just fine. And like I said, as you continue using your mat and it loses its stickiness, this will probably be even more common. Completely normal too. Okay, so I got all those pieces off. Okay, so you can't really see too much of it right now because we don't have any backing on it, but it looks really, really pretty. I love how that looks. So then you can just set your card mat aside for a second, and now we are going to put our little insert in. Now remember, the cards pack does come with all those little pre-made inserts, but it does let you know that the inserts are 4 inches by 5 1/4. So if you wanted to pre-cut your own, then you can do that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pre-cut my own. I'm going to use a really pretty scrapbook paper that looks like this. I have a bunch of scraps. I've used this for a lot of projects. And so if you're kind of just trying out what you want to put behind here, you can just, I think it's really fun just to kind of lay your card on a variety of scrapbook pieces before deciding. So like you could do the back and just kind of look in there and see how that looks. I did this for a cute little swan party too, so I still have those cutouts. But I think I'm going to use this side. I think that looks really, really fun, and I like all the little floral details inside. So what I'll do is I'll just grab my paper trimmer and I will cut this paper to size, and we'll put it into our card. Okay, so now that I have my little insert cut out, again, I cut it at 4 inches by 5.25 inches. So now what I'll do is I'll just place it inside, and there are going to be 4 little divots or slice marks on the sides in the 4 corners. So you're just going to take your card and slide the little corners inside so that they kind of peek through. And then you'll do the same for the bottom. It's kind of easier to do it facing down. Just like that, easy peasy, and then you can flip it over and it's already done. How cute is that? And I love the little print behind it. I think it just adds a little fun to it. I love the pop of the nice green, and it has a little bit of other yellows and pinks in it. So I think that looks really, really pretty. So that is the first card. So let's go ahead and make the second one. So before we do that, we're going to need to prep our mat. So this is where I find the scraper tool is a little bit handy. So what you can do is just lightly take your little Cricut scraper tool and just kind of scrape away those little pieces. So it makes it a little bit faster because if you sat there with your tweezers or your fingers and tried to pick those up, then that would kind of be a long and maddening process. So you just kind of take all those little pieces and scrape them off, being gentle with your mat, and then you can just toss them in the trash. Okay, so now let's make the hanging wreath card. So again, we're just going to click, and then we will say make it, and then it will put it right into the make it screen. So this is going to show us that we're going to be using 2 different materials. So we are going to use the blade, and then we're also going to use the marker. So this will be really fun. Again, it's an on card mat project, so we're going to use the card mat. We'll click continue. It's going to locate our Joy again with the Bluetooth, and then we can set our material again. So popular, and then the cardstock, insert cardstock, insert cardstock is the one we'll use. And then what it's going to do is it will prompt you with what you're going to do first. So it's going to tell you the tools you're going to need. You're going to do a pen and then a fine point blade. It's under the additional tools is that fine point blade. So the pen, it's going to say that we're going to do the pen first. So we're going to unload the blade and put the pen in. It's super easy, and I'll show you how to do that. And then once it's done with the pen, it will prompt us to do the fine point blade. So let's go ahead and start constructing this second card. Okay, again, we're going to use this nice powder blue for this second card. So we're just going to open it up, and we are going to slide it onto the card mat. So again, that back part will slide under, and then the front of the card will be over, and we'll just lay it down and just kind of rub it on there. Now we are going to be doing the pen first. So what we'll do is we'll simply open the little clamp, and we'll take the little blade out and just set it aside, and then we'll take the marker cap off, and then we will literally just drop it in. That's it, and then shut the clamp. So it's super, super easy to do. So now what we'll do is we will go ahead and load our mat just like last time. It's going to pull it in and make sure it's all aligned, and I'm actually going to unload that because even though it says it is perfect, it kind of didn't feel that way going in. So let me go ahead and load that again. Okay, so now it's all loaded perfectly. So if that ever happens and you just kind of don't feel right about how it went in, you can just click unload on your device, and then it will unload it and you can try again. So I always like to be safe than sorry. So if I have a little feeling that it didn't quite work, then I just go ahead and unload and try again. So now what we'll do is we'll just click go, and it's going to do the pen first. So this is really exciting. I like to watch the pen at work. It's super fun. So now you remember you can buy additional pen colors. So the black color does come with the Cricut Joy. So if you want to, you can do other colors. And honestly, after seeing how fun this is, I probably will invest in getting some other colors just because I think it'll be fun to have some additional colors to play around with when pairing and you know, pairing the little styles of cards that I want to create. So this will be really fun. Plus you can use the pen for other projects as well. So it's a really fun little feature. Okay, so now it's done with the pen. So on your device it pops up that you are now going to install the fine point blade. So again, you're just going to open this little clamp and take your pen out and replace the cap. And then you can put your little blade right back in. So again, you just drop it in and close the clamp, and then you can press go on your device. And now it's going to do the little cutout. So this looks like it's going to be like a little window scene. It's so cute. And I love that this is pretty much just a generic card. You can send it for any reason. I think that you could also kind of make this more of an occasional card by choosing some different paper to go inside. So if you wanted this to be more of a holiday card, you could choose some kind of Christmas colors or Christmas prints to go behind. And if you wanted this to be more of a spring card, you could do more spring and pastels. So it's kind of amazing what the kinds of paper can do to a card. It really can set the tone of the occasion and be really fun. So now it's all done. It's just gonna finish up and we can click unload on our device and it's done. So now what we'll do is we'll just shut this and we will just again kind of bend our corner and get a little corner up and then grab our little spatula and then again, just like you would remove cookies from a cookie sheet, you're just going to kind of slide that little spatula under all of the little card pieces and just kind of gently pull up. So this process is kind of fun too. This just helps again to prevent from any ripping or curling. Just take your time with this little part. Okay, and it's all done. So now we can just slide it out. And again, the rest of the pieces are just left on the mat, so we can just put our mat to the side. And then we have our little card piece. So now we'll just look for some scrapbook paper that will bring this card to life. Okay, so I'm going to use this paper, and this is double-sided. And again, if you are ever kind of wondering which side to use, you can just slip your card over and just kind of see which side you like. That's really pretty with the little rain boots. Or you can slip it on this side and just put your card over that. This is just allows you to kind of choose and look at different options before cutting, and that's really pretty too. I think I might do the rain boots. I think that's going to be really fun. So I'm just going to slip that over, and then what I'll do is I will go ahead and use my paper trimmer just to cut this. Again, you're going to cut it at 4 inches across by 5.25 down. Okay, so now that this piece is cut, I can just come in and I will just flip it over. And if you ever change your mind and you really like that other side, you could just flip it over and put it back there too. So that's the fun thing about double-sided paper. I'll try to link these pieces of paper. Sometimes paper is a little bit hard to locate online, but I did find this at, I think, oh goodness, was it Joann's or was it Michael's? Oh, I cannot remember. I honestly can't. So, okay, so I'm going to place them in the little slots and just slide those little pieces in. And they fit perfect. I really do just like the idea of having a printed insert. I think it's really, really pretty. So that took that card from just kind of an everyday occasion card to maybe more of a spring card. I think this is really, really pretty. So that is the final look. I love how that turned out. So sweet. Okay, so we have 3 cards. So 2 that we made today, and then we have one that I had pre-made. So it's really fun to see how you can create a card just about for any occasion. You can again use the pre-made inserts, or you can use the cutting measurements and just cut your own, and I think that's a really, really fun addition too. Again, the pen is really, really easy to use. You'll just insert that into your Joy when they prompt you to, and it's going to be so, so easy to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is super, super easy to do, super easy fun to make. And I think it's just a nice little way to send something to someone that's really handmade, but it's not hard to do behind the scenes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment and tell me what you're up to. Tell me what kind of card you want to make, and I will see you guys all in the next video.